Welcome back everyone to the final preview for Ashes Ascendancy, the natural magic expansion, this time for the Dragonborn. This one is Indiri, Aldair. Welcome back Ashes players. Preview season for Ashes Ascendancy natural magic expansion has already revealed the Phoenixborn and their cards. Check out preview 1, 2, 3. This week preview season concludes with a full spoiler of the next Dragonborn, Indiri, Aldair, which does imply that this is the entirety of their card set. Indiri, Aldair only has 30 HP and 60 HP for multiplayer, so that's the same as Skasa Kalani, but they have loose. At the start of the Dragonborn's turn, remove one status token from this card. If you do, place one random arrow conjured aspect onto its battlefield. So, Indiri is a blessed hunter of the Argaian mythology residing in the realms beyond, and their arrows, there are 3 of them: Burning Arrow, Entangling Arrow, and Whistling Arrow. Let's start with the Burning Arrow. It is a 1/1/0. They are all 1/1/0s. The 0 blood part being the relevant part because you can't just destroy the arrows and then that helps destroy Indiri. That actually doesn't deal any blood damage to them. So this is basically the zombie horde fight for the Ashes Ascendancy set. The one that comes in Ashes Red Rains, the Siege of Lord's Wall is the zombie fight. So Burning Arrow is a conjured aspect and they attack the center, meaning that they will go straight for your face. And as a reminder, in Ashes Ascendancy, whenever something attacks your face, all of the units that attack your face all attack at once, and it has aggressive 1. When this unit is declared as an attacker, add 1 to its attack value for the remainder of the turn. So this effectively becomes a 2/1/0 when it is attacking. Not that big a deal. However, the Entangling Arrow has Tango 2. When this unit is declared as an attacker, the target opposing player must lower 2 non-basic dice in their active pool 1 level. So this stays as a 1/1/0, but when it attacks, you have to lower 2 dice, and if you need one of those dice for a reaction spell, then that kind of screws you over. And then the Whistling Arrow has Terrifying 1. This unit cannot be blocked or guarded by a unit with an attack value of 1 or less. So you don't want to be using units with only 1 attack against Indiri, basically. And the issue is that when any of them attack, they all attack. So you could be attacked by the Tango Arrow plus the Burning Arrow and a Whistling Arrow all at once. And now you're kind of screwed. On the bright side, it should be noted that this has a 2 per person symbol on the bottom left, and as a reminder, that means that each battlefield can only have 2 of these on their battlefield. So even though it will come with 4 of these in the box, because it comes with 2 per person, and this can be a 1 to 2 person game, that still means that you can only have 2 on your field. Meaning you can't be attacked by more than 2 tangling arrows at once. There can't be 4 of them attacking you, forcing you to lower 8 non-basic dice in your pool by 1 level when they attack. Also relevant is that they all have the ephemeral trait, which is also on the Siege of Lord's Wall zombie horde cards, which is after this unit becomes exhausted, destroy it. So even if you do not do anything to destroy them when they attack by counterattacking or by playing a reaction spell or whatever, you can't just let the attack go through and then they will automatically be destroyed afterwards. So you don't have to waste your units getting rid of these guys just to counterattack and deal no blood damage back to the Chimera. However, they do not have the aspect on the zombie horde cards. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it was that units who block this attacking unit do not become exhausted when blocking them, so you could basically block with your units for free as long as you had unexhausted units on your battlefield, and that way you could just basically have them take the damage instead of you. You can't do that with these arrows, so that's kind of more difficult actually than the zombie horde fight, so that's interesting. We'll see how that turns out. Terrifying precise tracking skills have been called forth, and he is ready to lose an entire arsenal of magic imbued arrows from the skies upon the Phoenixborn. Will you be able to knock these arrows out of the sky before they make their mark? ? And we move on to their actual aspects. So Fletch is a 1/1/1. This one does have defender and no attack icons, so they are just a regular defender unit once again. And Fletch 1 at the end of the round, and when this unit is destroyed, place 1 status token on the Dragonborn. And as a reminder, a status token will just give them a arrow. So gotta keep that in mind. It means that you can't just leave this guy alive at the end of the round, because if you do, he will get a status token immediately, and at the beginning of the next round, they are going to get a free arrow. So that's kind of interesting. Also, when you destroy them, so if you attack any aspect or the Dragonborn, they're going to defend with the Fletch, and that Fletch is going to give them an arrow as well. So Quick Shot, it has a 2-1-1, and it goes straight for your face, so when this guy attacks, it will also give them a status token, which will give them an arrow next turn. And it has Dragon's Might 1, when this unit comes into play, place 1 status token on the Dragonborn, so it can come into play, give them an arrow. That arrow next turn will be placed on the board, and then the Quick Shot could attack, and attack with that arrow. So lots of arrow summoning for the Dragonborn already, as we can see. And then the Volley of Arrows comes into play with 2 status tokens, and it goes straight for your face. It is a 2/2/2, and it has Volley of Arrows. At the start of the Dragonborn's turn, remove 1 status token from this unit to place 1 random arrow conjured aspect onto this battlefield. So it's not just Indiri giving them arrows, it's also going to be their aspects just directly giving them arrows. So that's pretty cool. It should be noted that it does go straight for your face, so it can attack the moment it is revealed, in theory. They might not do that depending on their behavior card. We haven't seen a behavior card, but they probably have a role where it says that when you roll the Dragonborn side, attack or reveal an attack with the revealed aspect. I wouldn't doubt that's what this guy does. So this guy will just give them 2 free arrows automatically. That's kinda crazy. Indiri will utilize his status tokens and behavior cards to notch arrows throughout the game, but several of his aspects will raise the stakes, loading up even more arrows onto the battlefield. Remember the rules for the Dragonborn attacking states that any unit that attacks center will cause all other center aspects to attack, sending them in a whole flurry of arrows at once. So moving on to the next 3 aspects, and the last 3 aspects revealed, is going to be God Shield. This is a 2/1/1, attacks your rightmost unit, and has Armored 1. After this unit is dealt damage, prevent 1 of that damage from being received. So Armored 1 on a aspect is already terrifying, because that means you can't just ping them for 1 damage over and over and over again to defeat them. You have to actually deal 2 damage at once to get rid of them. So that's kind of cool, but they do attack your rightmost unit, so they won't just defend and make it so that you can't attack with any 1 attack unit. That does make it so that they are less threatening by not having the defender icon. And then we have Lie in Wait. This guy is the enemy of Alexander Hamilton, and they have 3 attack, 2 HP, and 2 blood. Concealed. This unit cannot be attacked or cannot be targeted by attack spells, abilities, or dice power an opponent controls, so that's nice. And they have Unseen. This unit cannot be blocked unless all attacking units without the Unseen ability have been blocked. So they attack their center, and that means that all center attacking icons will be attacking at once. So if you do want to block this guy, you do have to block all of their arrows as well. Otherwise, you can't block him. So either you can hope that he attacks first in a board that has no arrows out already, or that you have gotten rid of all their arrows before they attack so that he attacks alone. Or you just have a bunch of units to defend with. But again, you cannot block the Whistling Arrow with units with an attack value of 1 or less. So if you do have a horde of units to block with, chances are those units will have 1 attack, because that tends to be how horde units work, or horde decks works, is that their units will have 1 attack. So by that very nature, it does make it so that the Lie in Wait will have a much higher chance of not being able to be blocked, and it has 3 attack. And then the final aspect revealed is going to be Oppress. This is a 4/3/2, and it has Oppress 1. After this unit destroys a unit an opponent controls by attacking, place 1 exhaustion token on that opponent's target leftmost unexhausted unit. So we have a little bit of nature red rains coming into play here, just exhausting your unit when they destroy a unit you control. It is a 4/3, so it is harder to kill, and it will, chances are it will kill a unit you control, and it attacks your leftmost unit. So your leftmost unit is the one that tends to be the one in most danger in Ashes. So that is a total of 3 2-blood revealed, and a total of 3 1-blood revealed, and 3 of the 0-blood revealed. So that is a total of 6 times 3 gives you 18. That's basically the entirety of the aspect pool for the Dragonborn's aspects, so we now know what all of them are, and just looking at them, I think these are significantly better than Skasa Kalani. Like, significantly better than Skasa Kalani's aspects. I do think that a card called God Shield should probably have the shield icon instead of attacking your rightmost aspect, and it would make them also much more threatening, or much more of a presence on the board. But it's not the worst thing in the world that they attack your rightmost unit, I guess. So, closing statement for the Natural Magic Ashes Ascendancy set. Indiri isn't just all arrows, however, many of its aspects also come packing abilities that will throw wrenches into your plans or force you to make tough choices in combat. God Shield and Lion Weight will protect and conceal this expert marksman, while Oppress will come out swinging out of nowhere, threatening to keep you down round over round. That's it for the preview season for our first expansion for Natural Ascendancy. We hope you enjoy exploring everything the set has to offer, whether it's seeing what new ways natural magic can be used or sharing battle stories about your fight against Indiri, Aldair. Look for more Ashes Ascendancy Natural Magic expansion in Real Toll stores and the Plaid Hat Games web store Q2 of 2026. Now, I want to talk real quick about how this is significantly better than Skasa Kalani. First of all, Skasa Kalani, the way that she was balanced was that every status token is worth 1 damage when it comes to Skasa Kalani, and that 1 damage is automatically on your leftmost unit. Whereas Indiri Aldair, their status tokens tend to be a value of 1 damage. However, that 1 damage also comes with other effects. So that 1 damage could also come with you lowering your dice, or it could just be 2 damage instead of 1 damage when it comes to the aggressive one, or it could just be much more harder to block damage. And Skasa Kalani would target your leftmost unit with that 1 damage, whereas Indiri will target you with that 1 damage. So that's also just makes it more significantly threatening than attacking your leftmost unit. This also gives you a lot more room to play with. When it comes to Skasa Kalani, her dealing 1 damage to your leftmost unit means that you can basically just ignore it if you set it up so that your leftmost unit either doesn't care about that 1 damage if they have Armored 1, or if they have anything that prevents damage, or if they just have a bunch of HP, or you just don't care about them. Like, chances are you would just play a unit that you don't care about as your leftmost unit so that they can take that damage from Skasa Kalani. Whereas the Whistling Arrows will go straight for your face, so it doesn't matter what you play, they are going to be out there and they're going to be threatening you. But also, when it comes to just playing around them, they have the Ephemeral trait, meaning that you can play cards that exhaust units to exhaust these cards to destroy them before they attack you. Or you can just deal damage to them to destroy them, or you can set up chump blockers to destroy them. There's a lot more room to play around with it, as opposed to just being like, oh, your leftmost unit might take a damage, who cares? So this is a lot more fun than what Skasa Kalani had to offer, as well as just the cards that give them status tokens or put out the arrows. By default, because the status token leads to a more interesting board space, that means that this 1 status token is a higher value thing than Skasa Kalani getting a status token. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this new Dragonborn and playing around with them, as well as all the player cards that come with the Natural Magic expansion set. So lots of good stuff to look forward to. Hopefully it comes out soon, and that when it does come out, allergy season will once again be over. I don't know why it is suddenly back and back in full force, but whatever. I think the biggest complaint I've seen so far on the Discord when it comes to Indiri Aldair is that his conjured aspects are not creatures. Like, to them, it sort of feels less thematic that these are arrows, and these arrows are somehow creatures or units on the board that are sort of waiting there to come at you, but I don't think that really bothers me that much, because when it comes to the aspects, these aspects have never been creatures, right? Like, Fletch is not a creature, Quickshot is not a creature, God Shield is not a creature. I mean, that could be a creature name, but Lion Weight is not a creature. These are, like, you picture the Dragonborn on the card, and that sort of makes it feel like you are fighting the Dragonborn, but the name of the aspects are still not creatures, so it's like, it doesn't really make that much of a difference to me. And I also think that the arrows being arrows actually makes them more likely to be stuff that is on the battlefield that you are fighting, right? Like, these are physical things that can be out there, whereas Lion Weight is not something that can physically be out there. So I don't really have a problem with that. Other than that, everything I've seen so far seems to be pretty positive. The reaction to these cards are... I think everyone agrees that this is better than Skasa Kalani, so I can't wait for this expansion to come out so that I can play around with them and hopefully make some videos. Hopefully I will see you when that does happen, and that I will see you there. Goodbye.